On my last video, we discussed the events of the animated film The Death of Superman, a story in which the Man of Steel faced his greatest challenge to date and ultimately saw his demise. It's a story that no doubt raised a lot more questions than we had answers for. On today's video, chronicling the sequel, The Reign of the Supermen, we will answer some of those questions but also ask a few more. Why are there so many Supermen? Who is Cyborg Superman? Which one is the real Superman? How and why is Darkseid involved? So as always, kick back with a drink and a snack as we take a look at the reign of the Supermen.
Kid, if I find out LexCorp had anything to do with this...
Look, Mr. Roboto, we got bigger problems.
The boy's right. Let's go.
So as always, if you like the content on this video, remember to hit that like button. And if you want to see more of what I upload and want to be notified every time I do, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. So without further ado, let's get started. So previously, we discussed Superman's greatest battle against Doomsday in the aptly titled Death of Superman. To save the planet and the love of his life from annihilation, Superman sacrificed his life to take down Doomsday once and for all. However, the question remains, since his casket at the end of the film was empty, did he actually die? We opened 6 months after the death of Superman, and the world has been driven to a crime wave around the world. G. Gordon Godfrey is narrating through the news how the rise of the new Supermen is changing the world as we know it. We see each new Superman in action, and only one question can be asked. What is their place in a world without a Superman? Over to Lois, she decides to investigate the new Supermen herself. We get a nice scene with her and Wonder Woman bonding over Clark's death, a similar scene to what we'll be getting in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Lois heads to LexCorp's gala for the unveiling of its new Superman, the Superboy, as he will become to known later. Lois sneaks her way into the lab where she coerces out of Dr. Donovan that LexCorp is reprogramming DNA to create new genetic super beings, implying Superboy is a clone. Before she can get any more information, the gala is attacked by the Eradicator Superman, looking eerily similar to Superman's guide from his Kryptonian ship back from the death of Superman. Superboy comes for the save, but is ultimately no match for the Eradicator, who's about to go for the kill until Steel comes in for the save, who doesn't really fare too much better himself. Eradicator demands Luthor be handed over to Superman, and in comes Cyborg Superman, saying and doing all the right things, and even taking it to Eradicator, forcing a retreat. Over at the Fortress of Solitude, the Kryptonian robots handling Superman's spaceship ask each other if he should be awoken, to which the other says not to, since his last battle left him severely depleted. But the person who's regenerating is the Eradicator. Wait, so he's the real Superman? Moving forward, Lois gets a visit from Cyborg Superman. She says the real Superman died in her arms, but he explains that for Kryptonians, death is much different. They have the technology to revitalize someone from death. However, Lois still doesn't buy it. She asks him what his last secret to her was, and he says he doesn't have all his memories back yet, but he remembers they were close. He warns her of an oncoming threat and says that even if she doesn't believe that he's the real Superman, he's still trying to do some good. We see a news article and footage montage of all the Supermen ridding the world of crime, and the public eating it up. Their hero has returned, and now there's more than one. Luthor picks up Superboy and tells him to stop acting like a child and grow up. Dwight Luthor says even though he may be just a clone of Superman, he's invested a lot more money into making sure he succeeds, in which he says he's gotten Superboy a gig, protecting the president with the rest of the Justice League. Cyborg Superman shows up, and the League are hesitant to welcome him into the group. As the president is giving her speech, a boom tube opens, and out come a swarm of Darkseid's parademons. The Justice League start taking on the parademons as mass hysteria is echoing throughout the city. The parademons eventually surround the president's limo, but she's saved by Cyborg Superman. During the rescue, the boom tube collapses, swallowing the entire Justice League inside. Yet Cyborg Superman doesn't seem upset or surprised. Luthor is furious that his Superboy wasn't the success he'd hoped and takes him down to the lab to be executed. However, before he can do so, Dr. Donovan spills the beans that Superboy isn't just a clone of Superman, but a clone of Lex Luthor as well. Luthor ultimately changes his mind about the execution, and as they're leaving the lab, Luthor releases the rest of the prototypes, who then all attack and kill Donovan. Now we head over to the cemetery where Cyborg Superman is standing at an unmarked grave when he gets a vision of Darkseid. If you're through indulging this emotional nonsense, we have work to do. Superman. The next day, Lois is at the same cemetery, and the guard explains how Cyborg Superman was standing at the grave talking to himself. Lois looks at the grave and sees the name Terry Henshaw. And if you remember, Terry was one of the astronauts on the Excalibur shuttle from the death of Superman, as explained in my last video. The plot thickens. So you guys remember Dr. John Irons from Star Labs? Well, here he is in his own lab. He walks in to find Lois Lane, who tells him not to leave his bathroom window open. Lois reveals that she's known Steel is Dr. Irons, and he says that he looked up to Superman so much that he feels it's his duty to carry out the rest of his mission. He and Lois go over the info about the cemetery, to which they see that only the remains of Terry Henshaw were discovered, and that Hank's body was never found. Lois is convinced that Hank Henshaw is Cyborg Superman. Back in Metropolis, the Cyborg Superman is getting ready to address the citizens on the death of the Justice League when he gets a vision of Darkseid as Earth has been transformed into Apocalypse. Cyborg Superman says how the loss of the Justice League is a great one, and now that a new enemy is approaching, mankind will need to stand and fight for itself. He recruits the citizens of Metropolis to become his own enhanced cyborg heroes, also making them emotionless robots in the process. Steel shows up at an intergang raid to see that it's already been demolished by the Eradicator. The leader gives Steel the tracker of the weapons, and he charges in pursuit. Over at LexCorp, Lois and Superboy start bonding. Lois tells him he looks like Superman, and he tells her that he feels comfortable around her. Gee, I wonder why. Steel shows up at the Fortress of Solitude, and he's greeted by the Eradicator. He butt dials Lois, and after Luthor enters, they get a direct line to the fight between Steel and Eradicator. Lois discovers that the Eradicator is actually the guide from the Kryptonian ship. Hello, we kinda knew that. And that he's designed to protect Kryptonians, which can only mean one thing. Over at the Watchtower, the Cyber Corps are getting assembled, and Darkseid says how his plan of rechristening Earth as Apocalypse is nearly complete, and kneeling before him, Hank Henshaw. Over in a separate dimension, we see the Justice League isn't dead after all. Cyborg says that the only way they're getting back is if someone from the other side brings them back. Heading back to the fortress, the Eradicator continues to beat the hell out of Steel. And as he's going for the final blow, the Kryptonian ship opens and out pops a black suit Superman. Another thing we'll be getting in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So how's he alive? Is this truly him? Turns out it is. Superman explains how his coming back to life is called a revitalization cycle, and he says that the fortress was built to protect him during the healing process. He's able to get caught up to speed on the situation. Steel tells Superman that Henshaw is the Cyborg Superman, and Superboy shows up ready to bond with his new dad. Back at LexCorp, Luthor reveals that Darkseid is the one pulling the strings on Cyborg Superman. Lois puts it together that Darkseid's plan was to get rid of Superman, create a new one, and have him create an entire army of cybernetic enhanced soldiers that will open the gates to allow Darkseid to invade. Luthor admits he's been hiding a mother box that he's been keeping for a rainy day. He and Lois come up with a plan to distract Cyborg Superman, while Luthor opens the mother box. Superman, Superboy, and Steel all head over to Metropolis, and when Luthor and Lois arrive, it's complete pandemonium. Lois asks the Cyber Corps warriors to take her inside, and Luthor calls the actual Superman to tell him Lois had gone to the Watchtower. Over on Apocalypse, Darkseid tells Henshaw that sorrow, rage, and the thirst for vengeance are all part of the equation to capture glory, when in reality they're all part of the anti-life equation. Cyborg Superman gets snapped out of it by an arriving Lois, who admits she knows he's Hank Henshaw. When Superman's ship is spotted, Darkseid immediately demands the gates open. Cyborg Superman tries to fight it, but ultimately has no choice. The Cyber Corps all lock hands inside a circle, and a portal opens as Darkseid's army waits on the other side. Lois is able to coerce Cyborg Superman into removing Darkseid's implant, as well as the mother box from his chest. The Cyber Corps unlock their grip as the portal closes, trapping Darkseid behind it. Better luck next time, schmuck. The Cyber Corps start attacking the citizens of Metropolis, and Superman crashes his ship into the watchtower, saving Lois. They embrace each other, and Lois immediately asks what his last secret to her was. Superman replies, "I love you." Henshaw attacks Superman and blames him for everything, including the death of his wife. The fight continues, and it's still clear that Superman isn't at full strength yet. Henshaw says that he's already had to live in a world without Superman, and said Darkseid remade him into the ultimate weapon. Henshaw says that Doomsday was the first, and how he is the real defeat of Superman. Back on the ground, Superboy and Steel are fighting off the Cyber Corps, and Luthor is able to open the mother box to bring back the Justice League. Henshaw takes the watchtower into orbit and continues to pummel Superman. Lois is able to free herself and close the bay doors. She then realizes the only way to regenerate Superman is to open the window shades of the watchtower to allow Superman to feel the radiation of the sun. Well, it works. Superman's powers come back just enough to bring a stalemate. He says he won't kill Henshaw, but he's got a wild card that knows how to deal with him. Superman pulls out the Kryptonian crystal and stabs Henshaw in his cyber head. Henshaw wakes up at his wife's grave and only hears one word: eradication. The Eradicator comes out of the tombstone and kills Henshaw. Cyborg Superman shuts down for good, as do the rest of the Cyber Corps. Alright, so there you have it. Superman lives. No more Cyborg Superman, however we still have Darkseid to contend with. I want to thank everybody for joining me on this edition of Cap Comics Now, where we chronicled the reign of the Supermen. Join me for my next video, where we will break down the finale, the Darkseid Apocalypse War. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's start a conversation. What was your favorite part? What are you looking forward to in the next video? What would you like to hear me talk about? All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I will see you guys later. Take it easy.